yards. This deer's really starting to make me mad.
Is that Wilson?
No, that's not Wilson.
Oh.
Just a big old 4-year-old 8. We're not gonna shoot him, but he's pretty, isn't he? I told Claire, I said, we need to name that deer. What do you think we need to name it? And she was like, well, his brow tines look like model legs, so we named him Runway. Just thinking he was a 3 or 4 year old buck, didn't know for sure, but he had big brow tines, and we were super excited to see what he was going to turn into for this year, 2024. I ended up finding his sheds on my farm right before we did a timber burn last March. Super excited to find his both sides match set next to each other. And you know, he's just one of those deer that's like, man, this deer could really do something special. Lo and behold though, this deer disappeared. I had one velvet picture of him, or one night of velvet pictures of him on my farm, and that was it. Like, he was basically a ghost during the summer. Couldn't find him. I drove evenings just glassing with the spotting scope, just could not find this buck. And he's a big framed 8-pointer, so you should be able to find him pretty easily. You know, season kind of just rolled in on me. We went out west in September, so we really didn't have a whole lot of time to do deer hunting stuff. We were elk hunting out there in Wyoming, and came back and literally got in the combine that next day. And was in a combine for almost a month straight with no rain days. So didn't get to hunt in October. You know, frankly, we were just kind of watching this buck on cameras, hoping that he was just going to get comfortable, no pressure, and just stick around at the farm. We get into November. I shoot a really nice buck on a totally different farm, 20 miles away. And you know, now I've got to be picky. I've got one more tag left. We're getting to the end of November now. Gun seasons are rolling around. We had the first gun season get out of here. It's time to just start hunting this buck. He's starting to get a little more frequent. We got cold weather coming. And we're going to set up in this muddy blind like we did with Wilson and just hope for the best and see if we can't get this deer figured out, see what he's doing, and get a pattern down. Well, happy Black Friday, everyone. We're set up in a pretty bad spot for this wind, but we've had so much commotion going on in this around in this farm the last week or so that it's just a gamble to be here, but we'll see what happens. Well, we've got several deer out here. It's 3:40. Deer are you? That's a 3-year-old hen. Well, he looks alright. Well, bummer. I don't know what to do now. So, we've had this buck I call Runway. He's been coming out of this bedding area on the east side of my farm, southeast side. I've been coming out to this corn and the winter wheat behind me in the big field. And after that, I don't know where he goes, but he's been kind of on a circle, it seems like. Well, he was here this morning behind me, going into this bedding area where these deer just came out of. So, is he going to come out back here, or is he going to come out like he has been? That is the question, because I'm set up to shoot out this way, not this way. That's Runway right there. Yeah, he's pretty. The one I wanted to see is that one right there, and he looks really cool. far from my truck. Like within 100 yards probably of my pickup back there. But there's some great big oak trees right there along that road that I bet you see acorns right there. There we go. Just get rid of the glare from the sun beating on it. They're slowly, and I mean slowly, coming this way. He just went in the woods. Hoping he comes right up behind me here and cut out this food plot. Wind's perfect now. I mean, I never would have dreamed he was going to come out way back there, but that's crazy to me. We got to get moved around if we're going to try to shoot back here. Not sure how this is going to work. we're back in the blind. This is where I saw Runway last night. He came from the left, worked all the way up here, right behind the blind, turned around and went left, which is that way, south. I don't know why he did what he did. I'm assuming there were some other deer out in the wheat field that he wanted to go check out. So I'm hoping if he does that same thing tonight, he comes a little farther right and offers me a shot. You watch, he's gonna come out over here tonight, walk right in, and I won't be able to shoot him now out of this side, but let's hope that don't happen. Dindos and fawns out here right now, about 50 or so yards. It's in the back of the blind. Go figure. Gosh darn it. This is stupid. He was literally 25 yards. This deer's really starting to make me mad. All right, well, here we go. Day 3 in a row. This is Sunday, December 1st. We are getting on the bike. We're gonna go to the blind where we've been sitting the last 2 nights in a row and try to get on this big buck I call Runway. Probably the last night I'll be able to hunt him for a little while, but we got a gun season on, I think, Thursday coming in. So I was really hoping to get a crack at him before then, but oh well, that's the game we play when we're archery hunting. We just chase, and sometimes we catch up to them. So hopefully tonight's the night. As everybody tells me, 3rd time's a charm. We're gonna go ahead and slip in here and just see what happens. Hopefully 3rd time's a charm for this buck. 3rd night in a row. You can tell the deer mowed down my corn. Just nothing left of the stock. Oh no, there's a deer in the food plot already. Crap. What is it? My bow's in the blind already. This ain't good. It could just be a couple fawns, actually. Oh no, big doe. No, little buck. Right there by that tree stand. There's 3 deer. I gotta get in this blind. That deer's gonna walk right up to me. Crap. This is not good. I can't believe I might actually do this. It's going really slow. Because I can't see. Sit down. Either I'm stealthy like a ninja or those deer are just kind of dumb. Because my wind's blowing it right. Pretty much right where they were, so. We're set up. It is 1:54. Apparently I'm not getting in here early enough because these deer are out here all day long. I can't believe it. It must be a pressure thing. These deer just aren't pressured at all. I've hunted it more in the last 3 days than I have all season. So, I really want to move this blind. I don't like where it's at now. This was for early season through the rut. We're getting into food season now where these deer gotta eat. And I just can't shoot out of it like I want to. Easy here, guys. Right here. I gotta get some stuff situated here. Well, I wasn't expecting it to come out this side. Really? Where'd I get him? Where'd I get him at? Oh no. What'd I do? Smoked him. Yes. I can't even tell what I'm filming here. Giant. 48 yards. Baby. Smoked him. 48. He's a giant, guys. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Oh my gosh, I hope I got that on. Alright, guys, well, we just got out of the blind. There's the muddy blind right there. On a little old wagon. We're gonna walk out here and see if we can't find the arrow. Pretty sure he fell over dead, but we're still gonna take this cautiously, so. Oh yeah. Shot him with that titanium Spitfire 3-blade. It was covered in blood. Opened him up. He ran right through that standing corn right there. I'd rather not walk through all this corn. I think what we're gonna do is walk around it. Because I believe he's either dead on the edge or real close to it. him? Deer just took off. Oh, wait a minute. No, I think I see him. Well, I see him. He's right there, guys. He's dead. Look at this. He's dead. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful deer. Holy cow. Beautiful. There's the blind. Literally right there. Oh, I smoked him. Oh my gosh, he's a monster. That is a huge 8-pointer. I knew he was big. Didn't know how big he was. Happy December. It is snowing unexpectedly. We're getting some snow. We're getting cold weather. It's been a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Happy Thanksgiving, belated. And look at this guy. I ended up taking him last night, December 1st. First buck I've ever killed on December 1st in my whole life. But when the weather comes in like it did, right at the tail end of the rut, it's my favorite time to hunt. If you have food and the bedding source in the bedding, you can have a great late season. And I'm fortunate enough that this big guy started getting kind of on a pattern. He kind of did the same thing that Wilson did last year. Same bedding area, same food source, same blind. And I knew in the back of my head from last year, don't follow the cameras. They only tell part of the story. And luckily, you know, he kind of read the script last night. He was at 30 yards. And I came to full draw, and he turned around and he walked straight away from me, kind of off camera a little bit. And he got out there a little far. He was about 48 yards when I shot him, which I hit pretty much perfect. He's quartering away, 48 yards, and he didn't make it off the field. He went maybe 50 yards, fell over dead. And that's when practice from awkward positions with an archery tackle really pays off. I practice a lot shooting my bow, especially during the off season. I try to shoot almost every day if I can, or a couple times a week, depending on the kid's schedule. But even if you're throwing a couple arrows down range at 60 yards, it really pays off. I practiced a lot more this year from awkward positions because we were going on an elk hunt in September, which you guys could see on the show. And you know, I was practicing out to 100 yards because I had no idea what I was going to expect, and ended up shooting my elk at 8 yards. And this guy is, you know, he was farther than my elk by far, but wow, he's gonna look great on the wall, and super excited to have him on the ground. The buck we call Runway because of these. Amazing. I'm still in awe.
All right, kids, once again, Rector bombs away 48 yard right in the boiler room, dies on camera, giant buck. I mean, meanwhile, Jay-Z's out here just toiling away in a saddle, seeing nothing. And Rector's just like a deer farm. They're just everywhere. I love it. I love it. Congratulations, Tyler.
It's gonna get better.
It was a good pursuit. It never gets better.
It's gonna
Todd.
get
We
better
tell
for you.
ourselves it's
No,
gonna
dude,
get better.
it will
It
get
never
better
gets
for you.
better. It can't get any worse. So, but this isn't about me. This is about Tyler.
That is a
and
good
Tyler's
point.
hunt. You know, like I was saying earlier, 2 years in a row, good genetics on those big brow tines. I wonder if the brow tines on this one were longer than Wilson.
Well,
I didn't ask for a measurement.
I don't know,
rude.
but you know, what I enjoy about Tyler and the few conversations that I have with him is, dude, he puts a lot of effort in his food plots. I mean, the guy's a farmer. He's really smart. I mean,
Yeah,
when
his
it
food
comes
plots
to
look
rat
amazing.
fuel
Dude.
and planting those plots, they're gorgeous. They're beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
he knows how to do that, and I appreciate that because, you know, listen, I love. Of course, there's plenty of people watch these videos and they're like, oh, you know, you're planting those food plots and you're doing all that. But the amount of
think there
good
are?
that you do, I think there's some, but the amount of good that you do by really putting food on your property and helping these deer get through, especially the time that we're having right now where it's like -9, -15 the other day. I mean, you can just see the animals after the hunting season coming to those food plots and eating. At least my cameras are lighting up.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
And
I love that.
I think a lot of folks probably overlook that benefit because our immediate like thought and concern is like, I need to plant a food plot to get a deer in front of me and shoot it.
Right.
Right. But there is a significant benefit to the not just the deer population, but the overall wildlife on your property.
Yeah.
when
Well, forget
there's
about your property. The amount of deer that you're pulling from everyone else's property that aren't doing anything.
even
that
better.
You're helping
Then you
them.
get to find all the sheds.
I'm just saying, you're helping deer for that whole area when they begin to herd up and they need food. It's super important. I love it. I love it. Love it.
So congrats again to Tyler. That was a cool hunt. I really enjoyed the part where he was like sneaking into the blind and the deer were out in the field, and he had to like get to the blind without spooking them because I think we've all been there
We've
before.
been there.
And I managed to do that a couple years ago, and it was like even though it was just a doe, I was like, hell yeah, I got all the way into my stand, and she never even
yeah,
knew I
dude,
was
it's the
here.
best.
It's just like something that makes you feel cool.
Even when
nothing
you,
else.
or when you climb up in your stand and there's like one not far away and like you're
Or it's,
trying
like,
to get
bedded
set up
down,
and you're back.
and you're
Yeah,
like,
totally.
oh, dang, how did I get all the way here and up in this tree without scaring this deer? I must be really good at.
You are good. Dude, it is skill.
All right.
Congratulations.
Well, let's jump into Ask the Experts, presented by the fine folks at Lancaster Archery Supply. Make sure you check them out, lancasterarchery.com.
I placed an order last night.
Did you? What'd you order? What'd you get?
Top secret.
Why is it top secret?
I ordered some new Easton arrows. I just don't want to wait. I know,
Fair enough.
but I ordered some new Easton arrows.
For turkey season, getting ready.
Dude, I want to get ready. I am getting ready early. I told
Fair
you the
enough.
other day I was jonesing to get hunting again.
I've
ready.
had
it.
some stuff in
I
my...
even pledged I'm going to take Ben hunting.
Oh, Ben.
I'm gonna get.
It'll be awesome.
I'm gonna get Ben a turkey.
You're really going to enjoy it.
He is gonna do it.
It'll be a great time.
We're gonna-
Tom's going to be extra nice to you.
I will be as kind as Ben. We're gonna allow you to hunt how you want to hunt, buddy, for a few minutes.
All right, ask the experts. This one comes from Austin Chamberlain. He asks, when hunting a new piece of land, how do you determine which wind direction is best if you don't know where exactly the deer are coming from?
I think it's a good question. It's a good question.
I'll let you go first, Graf Man. You are the expert.
Listen, when it comes to a question like this, there's only one way to learn this, and that is time and getting out there and hunting and begin to establish and learn where the deer are coming from. Because most properties that I've hunted, for the most part, there are certain areas they come from. And you know what? Honestly, it has sometimes taken me up to 2 or 3 years to really figure this out. And it's through observation, it's through trail cameras, but most importantly, it's getting out there and putting boots on the ground and being in that tree stand and learning generally where those deer naturally. This one farm that I own, I mean, it took me almost like, I don't care how much manipulation I did on this piece of property with food plots, with tree planting. Man, they just love coming from this one spot. I don't know what they got over there, but they just that is their natural movement, is what they do. And you know what? This is the first year. This year, I'm killing a big buck from that stand. That is going to be one of my stories this year. Because man, I tell you what, and I'll be honest. You know who helped me figure this out, Justin? Was Nick Kravitz, our photographer. You know, we were looking at this, and we came up with a new strategy to get into the stand. I'm going to smoke a big buck from this stand this year.
Fair enough.
I'm taking advantage of time and getting out there
Yeah.
and paying attention.
I think the number one thing for me is always scouting, right? I mean, if you can get out and scout preseason, especially this time of year, February, March, to figure out where the deer are bedding at. Like if you're fortunate enough to have a spot that's got some snow, even if it's just a little bit, like it just makes finding those beds so much easier. You could obviously find them, you know, without snow, but when there's snow on the ground, it's pretty obvious where the deer are bedding.
Yeah.
You know, and generally you can figure out where they're feeding if you're hunting in an area with like agricultural sources, fields. And so if you could figure out, like, I remember when I was walking around in February and March, I found beds over there, and the fields that they are mostly seem to be feeding in are over here, then it's kind of easy to figure out what wind direction and where you want to hunt, right? Those are like, hunting is kind of a game of connect the dots, really. Like, where do I think the deer is now, and where do I think the deer's going to, and how do I get in between it, right? But the biggest thing is scouting if you can. The problem is, you know, you might show up to a piece of property maybe you just got permission right before the season and you didn't have an opportunity
Yeah.
to get out there. Then it's just, it's still going to be some boots on the ground work because you could still do plenty of scouting. You might kick a deer up. You're going to look for trails and rubs and all those different things. But essentially, it's just going to come from some time and experience. And I think over time, I feel this way anyways. After many, many years of hunting and looking at tons and tons of properties and maps and being in different places, you kind of just develop a sense for where the deer are going to be bedding and feeding, even if you haven't put in a bunch of time. Yes, it may take you a while to fine tune that tree stand or that saddle placement to get close enough to a shot. But like once you get enough experience, you kind of just know where they're going to be, right?
Yeah. It's good. Good information, Justin.
There you go.
You always had a great insight to that. So
let's do some
thank you
trophy
very much,
photos,
Justin.
Graphmeister. Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
This is one of my favorite things. This is my favorite things of all time. I love looking at other people's success. This is cool.
It is fun. We like to judge them. You ready to judge some people, Todd? Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm looking
Are you
at all
going
these
left
hard
side or
la-
right side?
Oh, jeez. I'm jumping around. I'm cherry picking the easiest last names to say. Mike Cruz, New York.
David Baltrusitis, Pennsylvania.
That sounds like a disease.
Poor David. Next.
Doesn't sound very good.
You have a bad case of Baltrusitis, Todd.
Matt Brewster, Ohio.
Spencer Faulkner in Oklahoma.
Brandon.
Nope.
Oh, boy.
You added
Brannon?
a letter. Nope.
Brandon?
No.
Brennan.
No.
Brad E.N. Braden? Braden? Thank you.
Brad E.N.
Braden Burner, Ohio.
And Mason Gonzalez in New York.
Oh, I love this part.
First things first, before we get to this, right? I was looking at Mike Cruz's photo down here.
Mm-hmm.
He's super stoked. But see how he's got that rope on the ground and what looks like a rappelling device, maybe?
Yeah.
I wonder if he's like one sticking or maybe no sticking. Possibly. I've been looking into this for this year, maybe trying those tactics out. I don't even really know why, but I just feel like I want to rappel down a tree. So I noticed
Rappelling's fun. I need to figure out how to. I'll tell you who's really good at this. And I got a guy who'll teach you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'll get him to come to the
tethered event, the
Yes.
teaching train.
Yeah. He'll
We're
come.
doing a
He'll
tethered
come for
teaching
sure.
train
He's really
this
good
summer.
at it.
Okay, fair
Okay.
enough. Who's your winner though? Let's go winners here. This is a tough one for me this week. I'm not sure how I feel about all of these.
I'm going to agree with you on that, Justin. But I have to pick a winner because that is our job.
Honestly, it would be Matt Brewster, but there's no bow. in the
There's no
photo.
bow. He blew it. It was my
great
first
photo.
I love that. Dude, anytime you can have a black background like that, just shows off the antler. He took the time to pose the buck.
He's got his head cranked back
He could have
around.
hit it with a car. We don't even know. We don't
He probably
know.
shot him with a crossbow, and he just didn't want to put it in the photo because he knew you'd judge him.
I wasn't judging anybody. But, Justin, this is a tough week this week. I'm going to have to go with Braden.
Braden
Braden
Burner,
I'm just
Ohio.
gonna have to go. Listen, I'm not happy. He's not following our rules.
I'm not happy about this.
But
They didn't give us much to work with.
no. But listen, it's a beautiful buck. I can see the bow. You know what? He's doing an okay job. But that's what I'm going with.
Fair enough. Todd's decision this week, Braden Burner, double B's from Ohio. Special shout out to young man Spencer Faulkner with his turkey.
That's cool.
Little bros look like he's having a great time, and it's turkey season almost here in a couple weeks in the fine state of Illinois. So thank you.
A couple weeks.
Yeah, like 6. I mean, how many is a couple? 3?
Wait, I had this argument with Brandon like the other day. Like something came up between you and I, and I'm like, dude, a couple is, dude. I mean, is one of you two? I had
A
the
couple
argument.
is 2?
It's simple.
Couples 2. Few is 3 to 4.
A couple is
What
2.
is
Like, who was that
6?
argument? Was it you? Dude, it was you.
6. A half dozen.
Half dozen. No, it wasn't
A half dozen weeks from now, it'll be turkey season.
Well,
Maybe
what
2
I'm looking
months.
forward to is the video that we're going to get next week from Ben and Kurt, who are going out shed hunting. They are going to show us some secrets on how to find sheds.
I think the
on some
secret is
different
to
pieces of
hold
property.
hands with your shed hunting partner. the
I'm
whole
sure
time.
there'll be plenty of that going on with those two boys. But at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to seeing that video because it's always good to learn tips on how to find sheds. I always need help with that, although I did find a pretty nice one already this year, and I wasn't even looking. Maybe that's the secret. Just, I wasn't looking, and then I just tripped on it.
That's generally how I find them.
I know.
I just wait until I happen upon one at some point in time.
All right.
Are you doing any other work right now, or are you waiting for this cold snap to pass?
Dude, there's a lot of
Before
great.
you-
I'm working on another potential opportunity to do another string bank enhancement on my property to protect the erosion. One of my favorite trees, that one that I almost died. Remember when I fell in that hole behind the tree?
Oh, yeah.
That tree is going to be gone, so I'm really seeing
that's
if
a
I can get
bummer.
that pulled off. That was a fun spot to hunt. You could just see so much. Anyhow, it's all good. And then I'm going to start diving in, looking at my tree plantings. We got frost seeding coming up here. Might even be able to try to get some of that done this weekend. It's time to get rolling. This is it. I love this. Yes, I will have some videos that will be coming your way shortly on some additional improvements that I'm making to the property, and mostly the one that you touched on earlier, Justin, and that is just proper execution of getting into spots. That is a mission of mine this year. I need to work on access.
Yeah, your property's tough. It's tough. Your access is not the best. We got to work on that.
I have the solution.
You just come in from a drone.
That's the solution, dude. 100%. Dude, listen, you're using drones now to bring your deer out of places. They're
Are they really doing that?
Yeah, I saw one Instagram thing. So
Was it real or like is it AI?
it was AI generated. Doesn't matter. But what a great concept. You know what? You can probably mark my words that in the next 20 years, dude, there'll be drone services that will like drop you in your tree stand. I can feel it. I believe it.
Mark this down by.
Dude, you hold on to something? That'd be pretty
45.
dangerous. But
we'll be so old by then. We'll need a drone to bring us to our stands. We won't be able to walk into them anymore.
I'm hoping to be still walking strong by 70. That's my goal.
That's a solid goal. It's a
All
good
right.
goal to have. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment below. Let us know what you think about the show, and we'll see you.
And don't be such a wimp. If you got a comment, knock it below. We got big shorts.
Yeah,
we can handle it.
Don't be wimps. We have big shorts.
I want to hear what you got to say. Let us know.
Sounds good. We'll see you guys next time. Bowhunt or die.
First time I really laid eyes on them on the foot in life.
What's that? Are they back?
They're back now. Yeah, they're
I
almost
better hurry up.
almost a week now.
I better hurry
Let's
up
get
and get
rolling. You ready?
And action.